All right. What I'll be covering here, as mentioned, is how to draw the Mohr stress circle. So what I'm looking at is unit 4.3. And what we'll essentially be doing is example 4.9. You'll see it over here. Just over there. And then I'll do another one as well. And yeah, it should be sorted. But just to briefly explain to you the steps. So the first one is to select a suitable scale, right? That's self-evident. We look at then drawing the stresses. We have the x and y axis being the vertical and horizontal, and then we essentially be drawing the stresses on that. Thereafter, we need to find the center of the circle. Then we need to look at which angle on the diagram over here, the configuration diagram, which we need to use. And yeah, you'll basically see, but what you're looking for is a normal stress, shear stress, average stress, resultant stress, and angle of resultant. So the question, what I'm doing now is 4.9, and it reads as follows. Using a suitable scale, determine the normal, shear, and resultant stresses on a 30-degree anti-clockwise rotated plane in figure 4.16. Okay, let's begin. So the equipment you're going to need is a ruler, right? Protractor, your compass, I believe, and a pencil. Okay, so I'll start off over here, just drawing my configuration diagram. One of you guys can see it. Yeah, okay. So here we got in the y direction 70 megapascals tensile, and then we have another one 150 megapascals in that direction. Okay, and then the one is to find at an angle the stress on that particular plane at 30 degrees over here. Okay, so again, we're looking for the normal stress, shear stress, average stress, resultant stress, and angle of resultant. So let's begin. So the scale I'll choose is basically 1 MPa equals 1 millimeter. I think you guys can see that, so I'll do it over here. So I'll just start off with my x and y axes. Okay, that's done. And then we need to plot our stresses on the thing. So the first one was 150, right? Which is in the x direction. So you wanna, I think, in fact, I'm gonna go with a half scale rather. So 2 megapascals is 1 MPa. Okay. So therefore that'll be 75. So that's going to be 75 millimeters, and this will obviously be half of that value, which will be 35 millimeters. Okay, let me just quickly get this down, move this a bit this way. Okay, you guys can see. So first one is 75, right? That's your first one. And on the Mohr stress diagram, the circle, positive is obviously going that way, right? And then we have another one on, it's also for the y, and then that's going to be it's also positive, and then that's going to be 35 over here. Okay, so this over here, from here to here, that is delta x, and then obviously from here to here is your, oh sorry, sigma y. Okay, hope that's clear. So then now the next step is to find the so-called center point O, if you look at the question. And how we simply do that is we take, which is essentially the average stress, which you just take 150 plus 170. The signs are very important. And we just divide that by 2. And if you get the answer to this, you should get 110 megapascals. Okay, so then obviously we're going half scale, so that should be 55. And that'll be the center of the circle. So that's going to be around 55. So that's going to be point O over there. Alright, so when that is done, you're basically on your way to drawing the circle. So what you're going to have to do now is sketch the circle. And so typically you want to use the furthest point away, which will be P over here. We'll just call it P, and we're going to sketch the circle. And what you'll notice, it'll obviously cut through, what is this? It'll cut through that point over there, which we could have called maybe Q. Just quickly get this right. So now talk on my camera. This, just keep that like that. Just got to adjust my compass. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay, let's get that right. Okay. Let me just see here. Struggling with this compass a bit here.